Good morning, Phnom Penh.
Good morning, Phnom Penh.
We're in Cambodia. We're in Phnom Penh, capital of Cambodia, and we're standing in front of Independence.
Statue of Independence.
Statue of Independence. That's actually a King Sihanouk that you see there. He was sort of known as the father of independence in Cambodia, which is quite ironic. Think about it, because today one of our missions are to visit the S20EP06 prison, which is now the Genocide Museum, and this is sort of a reflection on the very dark past of Cambodia. And if you don't know what the history of is, well worth looking into. In a way, it's a bit strange that one, as a tourist, go to these places, but I think it's important that we also cast a light on the history of not only Cambodia as a country, but also just give us some perspective on how evil people can be, really. And I think what makes the Cambodian story even more unique is that as the rest of the world wasn't actually aware what was going on in Cambodia. Even Cambodians weren't even aware what was going on in their own country at the time. And I'm specifically referring to the mid-70s, when the Khmer Rouge sort of grabbed power and tried to create the agrarian society. And the world as a whole accepted and Khmer Rouge as democratically leaders of Cambodia. Even when they were forced out of Cambodia or Vietnam, the world still supported Khmer Rouge, and they actually had a seat in the UN. And it was mostly due to the fact that Vietnam was at that point supported by Communist China. It was a very complicated history. And obviously the Genocide Museum is one of the sites where the Khmer Rouge sent prisoners, and actually, more to the point, it was the elite of the city. It was doctors, lawyers, engineers, educated people were sent to the prison for the fear of them sort of rebelling against the principles.
Pretty much anybody who could think for themselves, they wanted to eliminate.
In the years of 74 to 78, the whole city of Phnom Penh was evacuated and
what's
rounded
crazy
up.
is that it's just so recent. If you think about walking around the streets here in Cambodia today and the people that you meet, most of the adults walking around here went through this regime. It's not history as in 100 years ago. It's very recent, and the people here are absolute witness to this.
I think it makes it even more perplexing is that there's people who actually were part of the Khmer Rouge regime who are still walking the streets today free. It's a very complicating thing. I think the Cambodians have to sort of, in a way, move on with that. And that's sort of a testament to the strength of the Cambodian people. It's a very complicated and checkered past. So the goal is not to glamorize our visit to these places, amongst others the museum, and also the Killing Fields is the other big place, but more to sort of gain some insight as travelers into a little bit of the history of this complicated society.
I think that's one of the important things for me as a traveller. It's important not only to visit a place for the beautiful sights that there are to see and for lovely nature, but actually to gain a bit of an understanding about the place, about the people, and about the history. And I think that's what today is about.
Yeah, it's crazy. It just reminds us that things like this can happen again. We think it can't, but it's almost inevitable. Alright, so we're heading out to the prison first thing now, and we'll take it from there. Like this.
Yes, go.
Wow, that was intense. Probably like we just spent
crazy.
almost 3 hours at the Genocide Museum.
And I think you need to give it that time to be able to fully appreciate it and listen to the audio guide and the stories.
Yes, I think one comment we can make is get the audio guide. I don't think you can do this without an audio guide. It's really well worth it. Look, even though we're here, it's very difficult to comprehend what it was actually like, but that just gives you insight into the atrocities during that time. And I think if you're in Phnom Penh, this is one of the places you just have to go to see. And just be a witness to what is possible and sort of carry that memory with you going forward as a reminder that we shouldn't keep making the same mistakes.
And don't do this in a hurry. Don't do it as part of a tour, things like that. Take the time to come here, spend time here, because it is in a way quite emotionally draining, and I think you need to give it that time.
Yeah. The thing with the organized tours are they take you here and you have an hour and a bit, and I don't think that's enough. I think you should do it on your own. But okay, so we're gonna get out of here and go grab a coffee.